It's really good. Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to do Christmas Kueh Pie Tee, Japanese style. So Kueh Pie Tee is one of those very versatile things that you can do for all these festive occasions. So today we're going to do a Kueh Pie Tee, but I'm using Japanese ingredients. Most importantly, I'm using a very interesting and very special dashi. This is a shrimp dashi from Kayanoya. Got it all the way from Japan. It's a very excellent flavor you can add to your turnip and carrot filling. And it also makes it very easy because you know, the traditional way of making the turnip, you gotta have your heibi, you gotta have a lot of other ingredients and mushroom heibi and everything like to give it that umami. But with this dashi, it all comes in a packet like this, all ready. Smells lovely and it's got that Japanese delicate touch to it. For the filling, we're using this called the Jicama, spelled J-I-C-A-M-A. The J is pronounced with a H because it's a Mexican name. So this originated from Mexico, but we use it quite a lot here in Singapore for spring rolls and Kueh Pie Tee. It's known locally as bangkwang. So we'll start by peeling off the skin. You shouldn't confuse this with a turnip, right? Because a turnip, it doesn't have this brown skin on top. A turnip has got the whitish or the greenish skin and it's smoother, whereas this jicama, the skin is very rough, right? As you can see, it's rough and sandy. The good thing about this is it's very low in calories, high in dietary fiber. It's also got a prebiotic called inulin, which is very good for your gut health. So about, I'd like to say, 1/8 of an inch. Around about that is perfect. So you have a nice crunch. So we'll also need some carrots, just to give it color. For the carrots, if you find it easier, you can just use a shredder because it is not so essential to have that texture for the carrots. It's just for the color. Just be careful at the end because you can get your fingers sliced off. I see it a lot in my clinic, so be very careful. I'm using this really nice shrimp stock from Kayanoya. Even when you smell it, right, it smells a little bit like keropok, you know, very nice, intense flavor of shrimp. They grill them, dry them, and then powder them into this stock sachets. Now, otherwise take you maybe an hour or two to make a nice stock, but with this 3 to 4 minutes, you get a really nice flavorful stock that you can put into anything actually when you're doing cooking, right? It just adds that umami punch with a bit of the crustacean flavor. This is beautiful stuff. This is 500 ml of water to 2 packet if you're making stock for cooking. It's 1 packet to 400 ml water if you're doing a nice soup. So you can actually use this, just one packet to 400 ml of water. You can make a nice soup, then put some udon in, maybe a little bit more soy sauce. You get a very nice soup udon. So I'm going to put in my 2 stock packet. And then I'm going to put my timer on for 4 minutes. Now because this is a Japanese recipe, everything should be very nice and clean, right? That's how the Japanese like to do it. With this, it's very, very delicate. We just coax all that flavor out from the stock packet. So another way of using these is that you can actually cut it open, then you can take out the powder, and instead of making it into a soup stock, you can just throw this stuff into any stir fry. You can use it to sprinkle on top of things. The Japanese are really good at this umami thing, right? They put this stuff into anything and instantly you get that tasty flavor that you keep wanting to eat again. That's the secret to any good cooking. Okay, so it's 4 minutes. I'm going to turn off the fire and I'm just going to take this out. That's a great thing when you're working with Japanese products. They tell you exactly how much water you need and exactly how long you need to cook it. This is the optimal stock. They design everything so that it's very precise. 500 ml water, 2 packets, 4 minutes, and you get a beautiful stock. Then you can smell all that nice shrimpy flavor all coming out, and it smells very clean and very delicate. Right? The stock is ready. We're going to start cooking our filling. Okay, we also need some garlic. These garlic presses are really handy. Saves you a lot of cutting. Okay, let's start doing the filling. So a bit of oil onto the pan, not too much. The Japanese really very delicate. When it comes to oil also they use very little. We just throw in some garlic. Once you can smell the garlic aroma, you can throw in all the jicama. Okay, throw in all the carrots. Give it a quick stir. Okay, I'm just basically coating all the vegetables with a bit of the garlic flavored oil. Sweat it down a little bit. Then of course the key ingredient is the stock that we just made. Let me just taste this. It's a really nice stock. Now, they've already added a bit of salt into the seasoning. So when you taste it, right, you can taste that it's a bit salty already. So we're just going to throw all this in, and then we'll bring it to a simmer. So after we cooked it with my seasoning with just a bit more soy sauce, we taste it and see whether it's salty enough. And then a bit of pepper and a bit of mirin for sweetness. And that's it! It's so simple. All you need to do is now to wait for it to soften, and then we'll start making Kueh Pie Tee. Let's talk about this dashi. Now, every now and again, I come across an ingredient that I suddenly fall in love with, and this is the latest one. I'm really very happy with this. I'm most fascinated by the chicken stock. It smells like chicken. Not really the chicken stock that you make, but something a little bit robust, you know. It's got a nice flavor, and I can imagine using this stuff to make things like chicken rice. You can also use it for noodles, you can use it for steamboat. This one is the sardine stock. Basically when Japanese say sardine, right, it's their ikan bilis. It's their ikan bilis stock. I've tried using this for making the soy sauce for steamed fish, and it came out lovely. And then of course they have the normal dashi seasoning, which is the seaweed and katsuobushi. And in Japanese cooking, this stuff goes into a lot of things. In fact, anything that you cook, you throw in a little bit of this stuff, you just bring out the umami. I'm also very fascinated with their mushroom stock. And you can really smell that mushroom flavor. I've used this to make mushroom sauce for my steaks, you know. So after you saute the mushroom, you just throw in a packet of this mushroom stock, right? And it just brings out the flavor. And finally, we've got a vegetable stock as well, which is quite interesting. It's just got umami, but it's all vegetable based. So I highly recommend you all try this. So the original dashi stock powder, the vegetable stock powder, and the mushroom stock powder are available at Takashimaya. But if you're interested in the rest, like the chicken or the shrimp, you can get them online at Kayanoya's own online store. The link is provided below. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 10 minutes now. As you can see, the turnip is nice and soft. The stock has been reduced. Okay, so it's still got a crunch. It's not salty enough, so I'm just going to add in a bit of soy sauce. The soy sauce will give it a little bit of color as well. Okay, just a bit of pepper, white pepper of course, and a bit of mirin for sweetness. Pepper really brings out the aroma. Now, if you really like that umami punch, right? Remember I showed you the trick just now. You can open up the packet, and it's just this powder form. You can throw in a bit more of this powder, and you really give it that irresistible umami. And you're gonna get a really nice, flavorful filling for your Kueh Pie Tee. Wow, that really. Okay, I'm gonna throw it all in. All right. Okay, so that's done. Let's get our Kueh Pie Tee going. For my Japanese style Kueh Pie Tee, I'm gonna keep with the Japanese theme. Gonna use some seaweed. Just put your seaweed in. And I'm gonna get just some imitation crab sticks. You can use prawns if you want. Fill up with a little bit of that beautiful yummy filling. Then for Christmas theme Kueh Pie Tee, a little bit of green. This is seaweed that you can get from the Japanese sushi, you know, the sushi counter. I think they call it wakame if I'm not wrong. And then we're gonna top it up with this ikura. It's very special having some ikura. There, you got your Christmas Kueh Pi Tee. Now, if you want sauce, you can add a bit of the garlic chili if you want a bit of spice. Or if you are serving it to kids, you might use some mayo or mayo mentaiko. So here you have my Christmas Kueh Pi Tee, Japanese style. My problem with Kueh Pi Tee is how to eat it. So a lot of times, us guys, we just want to get it into our mouth, you know. So you eat it this way. Once you bite the first bite, everything just breaks apart. Now actually, Kueh Pi Tee is a gentleman and a lady's afternoon tea kind of snack. So you really need to eat it gingerly with a little bit of finesse. Just bite off a bit, the side like this. Bite off a bit at the side like that. Just like that. But you know, for guys, right, cannot tahan. Very nice, right? So you just go. You hear how it all breaks, right? It's really good. And then the rest goes in. So I hope you enjoy my Christmas Kueh Pi Tee Japanese style. And remember, if you want this dashi, they are available at Takashimaya or in the link down below. So until next time, happy cooking and a very happy holidays to everyone.